The Organization of Islamic Conference is helping ensure that provisions of the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law will be acceptable to all stakeholders. For the full report, here's Freddie Abando.
The Organization of Islamic Conference has organized the Bangsa Coordination Forum to bring together the MILF and the MNLF to consolidate their concerns on the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law, which will implement the peace agreement signed by the government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. According to Congressman Tupay Loong, the forum is an exercise that will ensure all the provisions of the proposed Basic Law will be acceptable and benefit both groups.
This Bangsamoro Coordinating Forum, this is aimed by the OIC for the two front to work together and find a common ground for them to form one position so that it will be easier for the government to address the problem of the Bangsamoro Islamic Liberation Front, also the Moro National Liberation Front. As a matter of fact, in all our consultation, the Moro Islamic Liberation Front said that there will be no Bangsamoro Islamic Liberation Front without the Moro National Liberation Front.
In the meantime, Loong bared the consultations in core areas of the proposed Bangsamoro entity has gained significant ground. In all, 19 hearings have been conducted, the latest of which were held in Marawi City, Cagayan de Oro, and Llano del Norte. A crucial issue in these areas is control of Llano Lake, which is the major source of power in the Mindanao area.
As Congressman Lubrigat is always trying to emphasize, is the inland water, referring to Lake Lanao, that according to him, Lake Lanao should be owned by the state. It cannot be owned by any government entity except the Republic of the Philippines. Now, there is a certain issue also that we have to address. Some opinion, sabi nila, Bangsamoro government still belong to the Republic of the Philippines. It's not a separate country. So, according to some legal opinion, it can be also perceived to be constitutional instead of unconstitutional. But we have to study this very carefully because this is the main reason why the ad hoc committee was formed by the House of Representatives for us to conduct public hearing, for us to listen to all stakeholders.
Loong assured that the provisions deemed controversial that may be challenged before the Supreme Court will be addressed by the House Ad Hoc Committee on the Bangsamoro chaired by Congressman Rufus Rodriguez before it's submitted to plenary for its approval. The proposed Basic Law is expected to be approved by the first quarter of 2015. It will be ratified by the people in the core and expanded areas of the new Bangsamoro entity, a promise fulfilled committed by President Aquino to end decades of rebellion in the South, with it peace and progress.
Generally, people really want this bill to be passed because what they believe this Bangsamoro Basic Law is an answer to the stability of the peace and order situation in the country.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.